Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Wednesday, October the 25th, 2023. Today we're pulling from the Dragon Tarot cards. We have the Ten of Swords. I feel like this is eclipse energy where there's healing taking place. You know, there's a lot of things to be grateful for. October has been a fantastic month. It's not October's fault that there was two eclipse energies. You know, with myself, I feel like it's because it's just like something has presented itself in my life, and this is where it's just like I felt guilty a couple weeks ago, and then I had a dream about Shane, and it's just like all the love that we had, it's like no time has passed, and it really messes with your mind because it's just like, you know, how do you move forward, you know, with that, with this presenting itself, and you know, your loved one comes through, and it's just you feel weird because you're in love with someone. How do you move forward? You know what I mean? So it's just like it's crazy, you know? This journey is not for everybody, I tell you that. I don't wish it on anybody. We have the Six of Pentacles, speaking of being grateful for everything that we have. The world is a hot mess. It's just like, you know what I mean? You know, support how you can. I feel like we should all keep our personal opinions to ourselves. I have friends on both sides. You know, I follow the Hebrew faith, but it doesn't mean that I wish anything harm to anyone. I pray to God that both sides just be like, ceasefire. What is it worth? Right after Shimchat Torah, it's like this happened. I'm like, why? You know, can we all just live in peace? Can we just, like, you know what I mean? Like, this thing keeps popping up. If we can eliminate one thing from this world, it would be freaking war. You're not even fight. What are you fighting for? Hurting children, innocent children on both sides. It's like, what is that accomplishing? You know, it's crazy. Like, you know, those are the ones that pay the price. It's not the people that want to start this. They don't suffer any. They just harm the innocent. You know, what'd that child do to you? Newborn children, nothing. You know, if you read any spiritual book, it says that. You know, God forbid anyone that is carrying a child or has a newborn that they weep for them. And here we are. You know, it's ridiculous. I feel like with this Ace of Cups, we're being protective of our cup. We're being protective of like what we're allowing to fill our cup. I feel like we're also being protective of like what is like our energies. It doesn't necessarily have to be like money and stuff like that. You're probably protective of that as well. But we're speaking up more. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? We're sitting there and we're protecting our cup. I feel like with the King of Cups, I definitely I felt like this before a coffee kicked in. It's like I was dragging my butt. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's like I feel like there's little things that are happening. It's like a retrograde. Like, you know, my TV is acting up, and I was like, well, maybe the bulb went. I did a freaking diagnostic on it, like checking the picture set. Perfect. Crystal perfect. And I'm like, well, ooh, why? You know? So it's like I've had enough of that. I had enough of the flashing TV. I'm just, my little brain can't handle it. Not my little brain. I'm not gonna put myself down, but it's just I can't handle it right now. I have too much going on in my life for me to be worried about that right now. It's like I'll have to, you know, deal with it tomorrow or something. Changing our perspective, I feel like is the way that we see ourselves. I feel like, you know, I feel like we wear a heart on our sleeve, but I also feel like it's like we are givers of, like, you know, we'll take the shirt off our back. Here you go. You know, like we'll do things that will sit there and help others, you know? I feel like with this, it's like, you know, where the universe was showing, if you look at the Enchanted Forest cards from Monday, it's like, you know, they're showing like this, you know, this outside force sitting there and chiseling you out of the sap of a tree, you know, because you've been stuck in the sap of the tree. You've been, you know, you've been in this state for so long, and they're like mummification kind of. But I feel like it's like you're alive, but you've been isolated and stagnant for so long, but now we're being free. They're chiseling and they're taking a lot of big chunks. Like big chunks are flying. You know, this isn't a small process. And I feel like you've earned your wings. I feel like it's like, you know, you're gonna have to let them, you know, because they're damp. It's like you're gonna have to let them sit there and dry out. But I feel like by June you're gonna see this major transformation. So I feel like it's like, even though right now it seems one way, that's why I'm like, I'm not making any major decisions right now until this eclipse energy is like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna make major decisions out of being tired. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing anything crazy. You know, I'm just gonna sit there and go with the flow for right now. you know, and it's just like, you know, I asked the universe, they're like, nope, don't do nothing. I don't do it, you know. They showed me that. I asked, they told me, they say no, it's no, you know. So I feel like with this Nine of Pentacles, I feel like, you know, with the Nine of Pentacles, more delivery of news on a stable financial front, but I also feel like a rebirth. I feel like this is something brand new. This could also be our child coming out into like more of an earthly energy. So it could be like, you know, children coming into their own, or, you know, sometimes they just have this like epiphany, like, this is my life, it's what I make of it. You know, my parents, you know, sit there and guide me, but at the end of the day, it starts and ends with me, like anyone. You know, it's life is what you make of it. If you sit there and you are a certain way and you live a certain way, it's like that is what you're making of your life. Your children, your parents love, by the grace of Yahweh and Yeshua, Universe, Divine Creator, Gaia, Mother Earth, you know, your higher self, that the parents love the living nonsense out of you. But we cannot do anything for you unless you want it for yourself. Sometimes things are for ourselves. You know, sometimes some of us are just born to be worker bees, going back to Billy Talent, you know. It's just like, you know, some of us are just born to be worker bees. And I'm one of those people. I'm a worker bee, you know. Thank by the universe that I'm able to be creative in my card readings, you know what I mean? In my spiritual endeavors, you know. But it's just like at the same time, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, that's who I am. I'm a hard worker, but it's just like, you know, when you're a hard worker and you know, they don't understand that you have family and this and that. You have other obligations, you know? So just be mindful of that. I just feel like, honestly, right now, until this is lifted, I feel like that's why they were showing November 4th, where that lifting, you know, I feel like hangover energy. I feel like don't make any major changes. I feel like just go with the flow, keep a low profile, fly below the radar, you know, allow the universe to bring the things in. I feel like Four of Cups has been something that's been majorly, it's like nothing you have to work for. Just allow things to come in. You don't have to push anything. You don't have to do anything. Just allow them to come in and do what they need to do. You don't have to, you know, do anything at this point. I feel like your rest, your rejuvenation, you know, do things that make you happy, that make you feel great, you know, sit there, make sure you're drinking your water. I know right now it's really tempting to only drink the warm drinks because it's a bit cooler out, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, but it's just like, don't let your positive patterns that you've created over the spring and summer fade away just because now it's fall. Like, yeah, we all want to be warm. Like, it's, you know, when I sit, maybe I'll sit there and invest in some warmer workout clothes or something, but it's just like, you know, sit there and look after yourself. You know what I mean? Keep doing the things that you were always doing. You know, you don't have to sit there and stop it because you know how it makes you feel. You know, keep eating your vegetables and everything like that. Fine. Honestly, TikTok is great for that. You could find some great new recipes. They were showing like boiling the corn, how you do with the potatoes, but this is with not corn, boiling broccoli. You sit there and boil the broccoli. You sit there and put it on a baking sheet. You smush them down. You drizzle them in cheese and then, or whatever toppings you want, and you cook them in the oven. And they turn nice and crispy. And you get yourself maybe a dip or a nice dressing or something like that, or just eat them the way they are. And they're like, look, a healthy alternative. You know what I mean? So it's just like, there's so many things that we should be doing. But I feel like this is where they're like doing the things that really speak to your soul, that right now, that resonate with you, you know? Keep doing what you're doing. Like, I started the castor oil journey. Now I added the wild yam. It's like, you know, where you are right now and where you're going to be in June when they're showing this, it's going to be totally different. That's why I'm like, I know I'm tired. So it's like, I'm not going to let that, you know, make major decisions that I'm like, damn, I regret that. You know what I mean? I feel like patience is a really strong key attribute right now to be, you know, going through. And I feel like you will see the other side of things. You know, if whatever's meant to be in your life will be in your life. That's why I feel like this Nine of Pentacles, coming out of our cave, coming out of this, you know, out of this darkness. Maybe they've gone through a journey. It's like they've come out of this darkness now and they're ready to, you know, I feel like kind of like wearing a shield on his back. Well, it's actually a knight. But I feel like, you know, if it's just the dragon, I feel like you as the dragon, I feel like ready to be in life. Life is a battle. You know what I mean? It's like some days it's great, sometimes it's shit. Poop. Sorry. But we make the most of it. It's like, don't let that moment define everything. Like, I know the energy and how I'm affected by the feeling guilty and shame coming in a dream is only going to be temporary, you know? And that's what I tell myself. It's like, this is a temporary emotion. I can't do nothing about it, you know? I literally cannot do nothing about it. You know, he's transitioned. That's all. It is what it is. There's nothing more I can do. I can love him, you know, forever, but it's just like, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully, by the grace of Yahweh and Yeshua, they bring someone in my life that's understanding. You know, that's what Ed and Nancy have taught us. You know, someone that's divorced, someone that's unfortunately, hopefully not, gone through the same things as us because they're more understanding. You know what I mean? Someone that has to rebuild their life is more understanding than someone that, you know, has had such major blessings. Maybe they were just put their career first or something, you know? But I feel like right now, put yourself first. And I feel like that's where the King of Cups comes in here. It's like, sit there and replenish your cup. You need some sleep. You know what? Sit there. Doesn't matter that you know, I feel like this is where prioritizing things, where I feel like it's like, you know, dishes, kids, whatever your top priorities are, walking the dog. Take care of those things, you know. Anything else, like, you know, yard work or whatever, it can wait till the weekend. It can wait till whenever you're able to do it, you know. Don't sit there and run yourself into the ground trying to get everything done in one day. You know what I mean? Or feel some sort of way about it. It's like, you know, you'll get it done eventually. It'll get done. You know, just be kind to yourself right now. You are your best friend. So treat yourself as you would treat your best friend. You know what I mean? I wish sometimes I could clone myself so I can get everything done in a day. But it's not a perfect world. You know, we know that for a fact. So just be kind to yourself. Keep pushing forward. Keep doing the things that make you happy. You know, all these little blips and blops that are like kind of infuriating and frustrating us, or, you know, it's kind of like bad luck, if you will. It's just like, okay, it's temporary. Don't worry about it. Some way, somehow, it'll right itself. You know what I mean? That's why I mentioned when I was supposed to have, well, I did, but, you know, I had asked for our holiest holiday off, Yom Kippur. They're like, you're not going to get paid for it. You are off, though. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'm like, somehow, some way, you know, the universe will replenish what I'm not making that day. I'm like, I'm not sitting there and going against Yom Kippur, you know? And sure enough, 3, 4, 6 times fold, you know? It's just like, you know, if that's what your belief system is, you know, that's where your heart is, it's, you know, that's why I'm not just like, you know, maybe just one thing doesn't define the rest of it. Just keep moving forward. You know, things will work out eventually. It'll even out. I feel like that's where they keep showing, like, you know, they're saying by the full moon, things will balance out. That this Libra energy is going to come in of balance, you know? I feel like that's why that moon was really, like, potent with me. I believe it was Sunday's cards. So, just take it easy with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Drink your water. You know what I mean? Maybe just drink some warm water. If you're not a fan of cooled water, you know, sit there and boil some water and drink that. At least it's nice and toasty. It warms you up. You will pee like a MF. I don't know what's with the warm water, but you just, you know, get yourself some, I don't know if you harvest dandelion, but if you could get yourself some dandelion root oil or tea or something like that, excellent time to sit there and replenish your body and sit there and get any toxins or anything out, you know, because during the summer nobody wants to be drinking boiled water, you know. So take this as a time as, like, you know, all the animals are getting ready to hibernate. This is a time for you to, you know, transform yourself. You know, it's you're indoors more. Utilize that time, you know, for a positive change. Get more sleep. Sit there and maybe you're doing more of a routine or anything like that. Maybe you bought yourself one of those home laser machines and it's hotter in the summer. So, you know, utilize this time to get that routine back in. Any routine, this is the best time to get it taken care of, you know. But I feel like sleep, especially because I feel like we are exhausted. We're running on fumes. And I feel like just being kind to yourself. Just be like, you know what? It's not perfect, but it's perfectly imperfect. Everybody is safe. Everybody is fed. The house may look like a hot mess, but, you know, I'm sure what you see is not what everybody else sees. But it's just like, you know, just pick at it little by little. It'll get done. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Wednesday, October the 25th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Bye.